All right, this particular CAC company name registration process that I want to discuss in this very short video is actually because of a popular demand. Quite a number of you guys have entered into my DM, bombarding me with different questions about the issue of this share capital thing. And I've seen a lot of questions, a lot of mistakes, errors here and there, and some of you don't really understand how to go about. Now, this is actually a client's job, so let me use this particular job to once again explain to you guys how to go about filling in your share capital when you want to register a company, either for yourself or for your client or anybody. Now, this particular first field here, it says type of company. Now, if you check here, you're going to see different kinds of company. I am very sure the very page that you will get to before you get to this page, CS is going to pop out. Okay, let me just show you guys. Okay, so this is it. Now, this pop-up is going to come up, and then they're going to tell you the different share capital for different kind of businesses that you want to register on CAC. Now, I really want you guys to be very careful when you're doing this, because sometimes, let me give you a very good example. There was this guy that was supposed to register. He sells he refill gas, cooking gas for people. So when he was doing his company registration, because gas is close to oil and gas, instead of him to choose another business category, he went ahead to choose oil and gas. And of course, if you're registering an oil and gas company, you can be sure that that's going to be a company with a very, very high share capital, right? So you have to be very careful. That was the first mistake that many of you are making. You have to be careful with your English. Don't be too sophisticated. Okay, that is the first thing, because so many times CAC will query your registration if you choose a sophisticated company. Meanwhile, you are not even sophisticated. It's not as if you are doing a business that is that high, but because of your careless use of English, permit me to use that word, you go ahead and fill in something very big, and then CAC will query you and ask you to increase your share capital. And you know that for every increase in share capital per million, you're going to be paying 5,000 naira. So if they ask you to change to a 200 million company, for example, then that's going to be 200 times 5,000. That's a lot of money. So that is the first thing you want to take note of. Okay, so here I am going to be choosing entity with share capital below 5 million. I'm very sure quite a number of you guys are going to have to choose this, because if you're really running a very large corporation or a big company, you might not really want to do your business name registration by yourself. Well, I'm not saying you cannot do it by yourself, but I'm saying most times you guys will always fall under this below 5 million share capital. But if you know that yours is here, of course, go ahead and choose it. You can see them. They are here already, and CAC has duly told you the share capital for each of them. So I'm going to choose a entity with share below 5 million here. So you can see here the minimum share capital for this kind of business is 100,000. This one is automatic. CAC is going to put it there for you. You cannot edit it. Okay, so you leave that the way it is. So now, since I'm choosing below 5 million, I have the chance to choose from 5 million down to 100,000 here. Okay, so most times you want to go for maybe 500,000 or 1 million if you know that it's actually a small business. Okay, you might not want to go too high. All right, but then you have the freedom to go from 100,000 to 4 million or 4,900,000, something like that. Okay, so here I am choosing 500,000 for this particular business, which is fine. So once I type in the 500,000 in figure here, it's going to automatically write itself in Word here. Okay, so look at it. You can see here, okay, so once I put the 500,000, it's going to automatically write itself in Word. So that's not an issue. So you go ahead and go to the second field, and here they are saying breakdown of total company issued share capital. So here they're asking what is the type or the class of shares here. Just come here and pick. Okay, you just come here and pick ordinary. Okay, as you can see, I've already done it, so that's why it's not really highlighting for me again. Just pick ordinary. All right, I think that's the second option is going to give you. It's not giving me the ordinary here again because I've already chose it before. Don't choose preference. That's my point. Just choose ordinary. Okay, so once you do that, you come here. So here they're going to ask you that you should write your issued share capital here. Now, because this is a 500,000 share capital registration I'm doing, I'm just going to type in the 500,000 here. Once I type it in, it's going to show here in Word as 500,000 automatically. Okay, so here they are saying divided into What's the number of units here? Don't worry, don't try to divide anything. Just go ahead and put in the 500,000 if it is a 500,000 company. If it is 1 million, go ahead and put in the 1 million. If it is 2 million, go ahead and put into 2 million. Don't try to share anything here. And I want you to really take note of that. Don't share anything. Just leave it the way it is, okay? Once you do that, it's going to also show here. Let me see. 500. Okay. 1,000. Actually, it's going to just give you 1 here. That's what it's going to give you. But I've already filled this, so that's why it's not showing there. But that's what you want to do there. Okay. So once you do that, you're going to click on Add Share. Okay. Once you do that, it's going to bring in something like this for you. So here is what I've done. Okay, so the class of share is ordinary, like I told you to choose. The issued share capital, like I told you, is between 100,000 to 4,900,000. I chose 500,000 here because it's a small business, so that's what it showed here. Issued share capital in Word, of course, 500,000. Now divided into number of units, you can see here 500,000. That was what I was saying here. Just choose the whole amount. Don't try to divide anything. And then nominal value for each share is 1. Okay, so you can see that it's already saved. All right, so once you do that, you go ahead. Now, this particular business is actually a business with 2 shareholders. Okay, yours can be a single shareholder. Yours can be 3 shareholders. Now, while you were doing this registration, I didn't show that point, but it can actually ask you to automatically add your director as the shareholder, as a shareholder. Okay, usually I used to tell people not to tick that option. I like to do it manually because I discovered that I actually chose it when I was doing this registration, but when I checked my details, they were not complete. I still had to come down here. Let me come. I still have to come down here to edit it. Okay, I still have to edit it. So if you have chosen it, no problem. Just check it very well. Let me explain what you need to check. Here in Add Shareholders, what I've done here, you can see name, no issues, date of birth. All of these are straightforward. So I'm just going to scroll down. Country, straightforward. All of this straightforward. So where you really want to be serious with is this share allotment. Now, this particular business is a 2 shareholder business. That means this is where I'm going to be doing my division of allotment share. Okay, now because it is 500,000 naira that I chose to be my share capital, that means because there are 2 of them, I'm going to divide that 500,000 into 2. So what I did was to ask my client that, okay, the 2 of you, how do you want me to divide it? And she told me that I want it to be 70-30. So the real owner of the business is the first shareholder, and she's taking 70% of this 500, while the second person is taking 30% of the 500. So when I did my 70%, if you do your calculation, what I did was 500,000 times 70 divided by 100, and it gave me 350,000 naira. And that is the 350,000 naira that I actually chose here. As you can see here, 350,000 naira. So all you need to do, because there are 2 of them, all I need to do is just to minus 350,000 naira from 500,000 naira, which is now what? 150,000 naira. So definitely when I'm coming here to choose for the second person, type of share, again, I'm going to choose, you can see here, ordinary or equity. That's what you want to choose. Then number of share allotted. So here I'm going to just put 150,000 naira, so that at the end of the day, 150,000 plus 350,000 naira is going to give you 500,000. Remember, it is 30-70 that I did. So if there were 3 shareholders, I'm going to divide the 500 into 3, depending on the percentage that the owner of this business asked me to do. So if the person said we are 3 of us, I want it to be 50, 30, 20. I'll just do 50 times 500 divided by 100. I'll get a figure. That is going to be for the person with 50%. The second with 30 is going to be what? 50 times 30 divided by 100. What it's going to give me is this for the second, while the remaining is going to be for the third. So, but then at the end of my calculation, by the time I do the 3 calculations together and add them up, they are going to give me 500,000. So if your own is 1 million, you're going to do the same. 1 million times maybe 70% over 100. What it gives you, that means the first shareholder is the owner of 70% of the share. I believe this is understandable. So if you don't understand it, I want you to rewind the explanation again, watch it again and again and again. You're going to understand it. And so once I've done that, I will check all my details again. Once I'm sure that all my details are correct, all I need to do is just to come here and then click add shareholder. Okay, so once I do that, you can see here that the two, I don't know why this is not displaying completely. Okay, so so you can see here that I have two shareholders here. You can see here this is 70%. Of course, it's not showing here, but that's how I did my division. And this one is 150,000 naira. That's the remaining 30%. So this is how easy it is for you to do your calculation. So if you have any problem again, you can just let me know in the comment section. I'll do my best to see if I can answer you, because I get quite a lot of inquiries and people bombarding me every day, but I'll do my best to answer you. So if you like this video, please give it a like, share this video, and of course, if you want to see digital marketing tutorials like this one, then make sure you subscribe to this channel, turn on the alert bell so you get to see when I release my next video. Thank you, and I'll see you in another one.